Serengeti National Park is a place where young lions share space with the mighty giants of the grasslands. A land of awe-inspiring beauty that has been sculpted by time and geological upheavals over millions of years, where the powerful predators maintain a delicate relationship with supersized beasts. And amongst them all is an unimaginable wealth of wildlife. From the well-known megafauna to a beautiful range of feathered wonders. These are the stories from the Serengeti. A swarm of flies are tormenting the peace of a sleepy lioness. At least the late afternoon breeze offers some respite. But while she and her pride are trying to get some rest, a much bigger problem is heading their way. African elephants on a warpath. The lions know that they are in trouble. The most senior members of the pride are the first to make the move. A quick pause to see the advancing giants confirms their worst fears. The lions know that the elephants are following their chosen path, and the only way to avoid them is to follow a strategy that is usually reserved for hunting prey, spreading out in different directions. The biggest danger is to the smaller cubs, for they may not be able to move as quickly, and not far behind them are powerful tuskers that are moving with surprising speed. But even the young lions seem to know that the pride is following a well-rehearsed dispersal strategy. A collared female leads the way, and even in her sleepy state, she knows what needs to be done. She is the first to lay down the marker. The other lionesses decide to use a surprising barrier that they know the elephants will not cross. Tourist vehicles that are enjoying this rare interaction between two magnificent species are stunned to see that the lionesses are using the vehicles as a safety mechanism to disperse even further. Meanwhile, the elephants are victoriously approaching the shady trees where the lions were resting. But this joy will be short-lived, for they know that they have to keep moving. And even though the collared lioness is annoyed with the elephants for disturbing her pride's peace, perhaps she too knows that the vast Serengeti is a shared space, and sometimes even the most powerful predators have to give way to other creatures. They have also learned to use the man-made roads and the vehicles to stay away from trouble. The high concentration of lion populations in the Serengeti have helped Tanzania hold the proud record of having the highest population of these majestic felines in the world. There are obstacles for the lions, like these African elephants, but for the most part, this is a fantastic habitat and there is plenty of prey to eat. But at this moment in time, this small pride does not have to worry about elephants or hunger, but something much smaller. This lion's handsome face is covered by insects, and he is struggling as he attempts to digest his food. And he envies his siblings who seem to have been spared this nuisance. The lion decides to resort to some drastic measures. The sharp thorns on the acacia tree can easily tear into the skin, but the lion carefully uses the spikes as a brush to drive away the pesky flies. His trick seems to be working, and he takes great delight. He has found an unusual ally in the form of an ordinary but resilient tree. But perhaps he is wondering where these flies are coming from. The answer lies in the distant dust bowls created by the massive migrating herds of wildebeest, zebras, and other antelopes that are making their way to the southern plains. They are in search of new feeding grounds and they have been traveling for several days. These herds are extremely attractive to small insects like the pesky flies as they feed and breed on the excrement of the traveling animals. During migration season, there is a sudden explosion of the insects, and they are capable of passing on in great numbers to other mammals too. The epic journeys of the migrating herds take place in two of Africa's greatest national parks. The Masai Mara in southern Kenya is where the animals have been feeding on the rich green grass and growing in numbers. But as the short rainy season begins in the Serengeti, the animals begin their migration southwards, all the while stopping to feed, and the pregnant females continue to give birth to the young on the go. Through their travels, they traverse through dangerous landscapes and a host of predators. River crossings can be particularly lethal. A stampede can cause the death of many animals that will never make it through to the other side. Bad news for the wildebeest, but at least some animals will take advantage of this seasonal bounty. A Nile crocodile sticks around as there is plenty of food in this river for now. But the animals that make it through join the resident herds and enjoy a bounty of great food. The herbivores take advantage of this time of plenty, and several babies can be seen. But each young animal can expect attacks from a brutal range of predators, and sometimes death can come in cruel ways. This lion has captured a topi calf. It may not even be a few days old, and it has fallen prey to the most powerful predator in the Serengeti. The lion does not want to eat the calf. It is too small for the big cat. It is expecting the mother of the young to come to rescue her child, so the lion will hang on to the calf. But this may be a very long ordeal, and the calf will surely die from the fear and lack of food. This is the cold reality of the cycle of life and death on the Serengeti. The predators, like these black-backed jackals, have babies too. And the quest for food is a continuous story with no end. It is surprising that one of Africa's most dangerous animals is not a predator, but a herbivore. Hippos are known to be mighty and aggressive, and as they wait for the rains to refill the rivers and swamps, they gather in large numbers as they battle to find deep spaces where they can protect themselves from the sun. Each animal is of massive proportions, and they are all vying for a comfortable resting spot that will cover as much of their bodies as possible with the saturated waters of the river. After grazing on the nearby grasslands at night, they are constantly defecating in the river, and the stench of the water is now becoming unbearable. Unknowingly, the hippos are having an impact that is helping a multitude of other species find food and survive. The edges of the swamp are now rich in nutrients, thanks to the excrement from the hippos. In the heat and the short rains, several microorganisms and insects are multiplying, and various bird species are enjoying this buffet. The ringed plover is usually seen as a passage migrant in the coast and large lakes, but the rich food in this little swamp has persuaded the small bird to spend some time here. A little stint enjoys the safety of the swamp to have a stretch as it continues to feed. Other birds blend so well in the habitat, such as wood sandpipers, that the only thing that gives them away are their sudden movements, such as this highly active redshank, which is probing every corner of the mud as it searches for those tasty morsels. The larger and more charismatic mammals may grab all the headlines in the Serengeti. But this national park is also extremely popular for its stunning diversity of birds. The grasslands are a unique habitat where the ancient lineages of birds have remained unchanged for thousands of years. The most conspicuous grassland inhabitants are the helmeted guineafowl. These widespread birds act as the alarm systems of the Serengeti, as they give out loud rattling calls at the sight of any predators. Much harder to see are these bustards, such as the white-bellied bustard. They make use of the tall grass and low bush cover to hide as they quietly search for food. But the most unique bird found on these grasslands is the highly sought after and endemic secretary bird. This is a long-legged raptor that has evolved a specialized terrestrial predatory lifestyle. The close-up views reveal a delicate-looking bird with exceptionally long limbs, but the appearance of the secretary bird belies a powerful predator. By moving quickly through the long grass, it is trying to locate its prey, which can also include snakes. If it does find its target, it will stamp it to death using the hardened pads on its feet. An endangered and special bird that is surely the poster child of the birds of the Serengeti. The wide open spaces of Serengeti National Park have many different entrances, but they all lead to the same treasures. Through the stunning and rugged landscape is a place where you can lose yourself in a true adventure. Our accommodation was a camp in the middle of the Serengeti, an unfenced tent opened out to the grasslands, which are home to a diverse range of species. The megafauna includes well-known animals that have captured our imaginations for a very long time. But as we searched for the larger predators, we also encountered smaller and rarer creatures, such as this serval, which is much smaller than a cheetah and is able to disappear into the grassland with masterful ease. Other interesting mammals we encountered were golden jackals. They are the subject of some debate as they are being reclassified as golden wolves. The Serengeti is a reminder of a lost time, a window into the wild history of our planet, where we can observe the wildlife and capture it on film.